Hey, Moon Magic Super Souls, beautiful souls, welcome to your new moon eclipse readings. And as promised, for any of you who are following my readings, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you're brand new, welcome. Let me fill you in. I'm posting these on October the 1st. Ultimately, any of these kinds of pick a card readings are timeless. You could probably tune into any new moon or any new moon eclipse at the time in order to get a message. But these readings, I'm posting them on October the 1st, and it's a particular point of power. It's the day before the new moon eclipse, and it's a point of power because there is there has been an astrological collaboration in the previous full moon eclipse, and this moon is passing that sort of point of power. Now, I'm not going to go into that today in too much detail. Those of you who tuned in with the conversation that I had with my younger sister Jocelyn, who's an astrologer, will know about it. Jocelyn has also created her own little video about this and the dynamics of it, so I'll just put that in the link below for anyone that wants to check that out. So we have 3 different packs of tarot cards that we're going to use today, 3 beautiful crystals as well. So pile 1, this is the moon card from the Sufi Tarot. Really, really beautiful. I think I can focus that up for you. Okay, and this is with the Malachite crystal. Really beautiful, stunningly beautiful crystal, which was a gift. Thank you, Roma, actually, for sending this to me, or gifting this to me, rather. Absolutely beautiful gift. Thank you so, so much. And we have, let me just show you, actually, in case you wanted to see the back of the cards. This is the Sufi Tarot. So that's pile 1. Pile 2, we are using the Tarot of the Light. We have the moon card from that pack, and it also says illusion. Now, this is sitting with the selenite heart. Really beautiful crystal. One of my old favourites. Some of you will have seen this in some readings before now, I'm sure. Okay. This is the back of the pack for those of you who wanted to check up on that too. All the cards, by the way, that I'm using, as always, I will list them in the description box below. So if there's any that you're really tuning in with and you would like to, have a look at more, you can just click on the links to find them. Okay, so we then have, finally, the Guardian of the Night Tarot. So this is for pile 3. And pile 3, you also have this crystal. It's a piece of raw blue calcite. Stunning, stunning energy. Really beautiful crystal. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so that is the raw blue calcite. So that is pile 3. And this is the back of the Guardian of the Night Tarot. This is what it looks like. Okay, so beautiful souls. Take your time, trust your intuition at this time of the new moon. We are doing new moon eclipse readings, and because this is a point of power today at the time of these readings where we can really launch things, a new moon is always a time of new beginnings anyway, we're going to be really particularly kind of focusing in on that kind of energy. What can you launch? What can you take forward? Any guidance, advice for anything that you are wanting to move forwards? Whatever your spirit team are happy to share with us, whatever comes to these readings, that's the kind of theme. What can you launch, or how can you move something forwards? And we are asking for guidance and advice, particularly at this time of this power point. So, beautiful souls, I will see you in just a moment in the readings. Thank you so, so much for being here. Welcome back to anyone who is returning, and welcome to anyone new. Beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few moments longer, just to give you a little bit of time. You can always press the pause button if you need longer. And I know sometimes for some of you, maybe 1 or more readings will be speaking to you. Trust your intuition. I always think that's the way to go, and especially when we're doing moon readings. I mean, they are all about intuition. So beautiful souls, I'll leave the video running for a few minutes longer, and then I will see you in the readings. Tons of love. Pile one, welcome to your reading. Let me just actually make sure that camera is focusing properly on the cards. Okay, so you have the beautiful malachite crystal and you have this lovely card of the moon. You're using the Sufi tarot, or your readings. For your readings, we're using the Sufi tarot. I'm actually going to draw your tarot cards first. We're really asking for advice and guidance from your spirit team, and we'd like to know really what can you launch, or what can you do to maintain something or manifest something or keep something going at this time of the new moon, at this power point. Any advice and guidance? Let's also draw from the Akashic Tarot as well, because this is an eclipse moon and it's such a pivotal time of kind of like karmic happenings. So we'll draw from the Akashic Tarot as well. I have oracle cards too, but let's look at what we have here first. Okay, Son of Coins, how interesting. So Son of Coins, this is about bringing in a harvest. Seven of Staffs, okay, you need to stay on track, my beautiful souls. I think you're getting knocked off track. You're working on something and it has real potential. You need to bring in the harvest, but I think you're very affected. Yeah, look at this Five of Cups. Some of you may have had literally a disappointment. You know, perhaps something actually threw you off balance, or happened that was unexpected. You're being asked to not allow that disappointment to get in the way. Let me move these along, make sure we have room for another one. Yeah, Shire of Staffs, this is the King of Wands. Yeah. Your message is really clear. You are working on something. This feels more like a bringing something to fruition than a brand new beginning of something. Like, so if we think of the energy that my sister spoke of, Jocelyn spoke of, like she talked about lifting the kite. Basically there's a kite shaped dynamic astrologically, and whenever the moon passes the base of that kite shape, throughout this coming year, throughout and until we get to September's eclipse season, every time the moon passes the base of that kite, it's like there's an energetic imprint, and we can lift the kite. We can use the energy. So I will be doing readings at that time, you know, every single time. The 29th of October is the next. Actually, we have the 1st of October and the 29th of October. So watch out for the readings around that. But what I'm seeing here for you, this isn't about launching something. It's about keeping going with something. You've had some kind of disappointment, and that disappointment has knocked you off balance. Malachite of Coins, Eight of Cups. You're being asked to put this behind you. Whatever it was, you are being asked to put it behind you. We have the Divine Physician. We have the Five of Roses, the Garden. And then we have the initiation of the Count Saint Germain. Now this was actually in reverse. Okay. Yeah. I think that whatever disappointment you had, it's tapped into some of your inner child stuff. For some of you, there's definitely some sort of deeper feelings beneath the surface that have been tapped into. You're being asked to really get back on track here. We'll get a lot more guidance and advice for you. But that's what we're being shown here. Your spirit team is saying, look, don't be knocked off balance here. You know, this is understandable for you to feel upset or disappointed. But what you are working on is significant. Whatever you're manifesting, it's significant and it has real potential. They're asking you to leave behind this disappointment, just to let it go. I know that's easier said than done. They are offering you healing, the Divine Physician. I'm also sort of really getting in your dreams that, you know, you may find that if you meditate, and in your dreams, that messages will be shown to you to help you with healing, to help you be healed. Spend time in nature. It's Interesting with this card in reverse. I kind of feel like I need to get a little bit of clarification around this. I think we'll use another tarot pack before we dive into your oracle cards, actually. May we kindly ask about the Count Saint-Germain in reverse. What is this about? Okay, so we have the King of Wands, which is really interesting, sitting under the same card. Shower of Staffs in a traditional tarot pack is the King of Wands. Okay, now the Initiation Count Saint-Germain is a card that speaks of, well, being guided, but it's a process. It's like you're moving to higher levels of consciousness. I see what this card is asking and saying now. This is about asking you to rise above this. Whatever this disappointment was, let's get a bit more information here. May we have additional information? I feel like those are your cards. I think it's all three, actually. Wow, just the way they just slid out. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups. We then have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, just to ask about that disappointment. Okay, I think for some of you this was a relationship connection that didn't work out. It could be love for some of you. Maybe the person you met and thought was solid, going to follow through, turned out to be a bit of a fly-by-night. For some of you, it could be someone like a friend or a circumstance with, I think it does connect to a someone, the disappointment. Maybe you found that they kind of stabbed you in the back, or that basically, they didn't deliver. If this is a colleague, again, it's somebody didn't deliver, they didn't show up, they weren't what they said they were, and it has knocked you off balance. But what this reading is saying is look, you're more than this, and I think that you know it. I think you have kind of a much higher level of consciousness and awareness than this person. And it's a really interesting kind of message, I feel, that's coming through here with the Divine Physician as well. They're kind of saying to you, look, please heal yourself. Walk away from this. Hold the higher ground here. With the king here, the King of Staffs. It's interesting that you have a king and a queen, which is also suggesting for any of you, if this was a love interest, that there will be, the right person will be coming. Yes, it's in reverse, so there may be a little bit of a delay or a wait. And maybe this was also for you to kind of almost to become more discerning, or to make sure that you were really kind of, I want to say, standing in your own power with the King and Queen of Staffs as well. Yeah, I think, curiously, whatever the disappointment was, you're being asked to hold not let it affect you. Now, I know that's difficult, but the reality is, don't let it knock you off balance, because you have a higher level of consciousness than whoever this was. Whether it's a friend, or there's a community group, or a colleague, or whoever this was, you can hold the higher picture because you have a greater awareness. I think you can look at this through the eyes of a child in a way. I think it did press some of your childhood buttons, but the reality is, you're bigger than this. It's like holding the higher picture. When someone behaves badly and you just think, oh gosh, if you could just grow up a bit, or could you not be a bit more conscious? Well, in an ideal world that would be lovely, but actually you're the one that holds the higher consciousness here. And if you do hold the higher consciousness, then in a way you're in a much greater position of kind of leadership actually here. You can choose to walk away. You can choose to just not allow it to bother you, to sort of send someone love and move along. This is about you standing in your own power. And maybe with the initiation of Saint Germain, of Count Saint Germain, there is an element of you owning your own power, actually. Taking it back, taking back your own agency. You don't have to dwell in the disappointment. You can use the disappointment to say, do you know what? That was sufficiently disappointing for me to kind of need to move beyond that. I'm worth more than that. So there's definitely something around that energy. A really similar theme came up in another reading recently. So if that was you and you were drawn to that reading previously, because it was relatively recent, it might have literally just been a couple of days ago. So if that was the case, then, you know, this reading is really speaking to you. I'm sure it was in the last week or two. So if you have experienced a disappointment, this reading is, your spirit team is saying, get back on track. Don't let this bother you. Don't let this affect you. Let me put those tarot cards to one side. Let's draw some runes for you. Look at that, you have the rune of initiation. So that's really interesting because this is a card of initiation. Okay, let me put this up here. So we've got room. So you have the rune of initiation. Yeah, you have Nathis, the rune of constraint. Then you have breakthrough. Ah, lovely. Okay. Then we have Berkana. Fantastic. And we have Hagalaz. Okay, right. Right. Whatever this was, it's really important to break free of it. Energetically, break free of it. That's what this reading is suggesting. Hagalaz sometimes really does ask us to break free of things that are restricting. What this is telling me is if it hadn't been disappointing and you had stayed longer with it, you dwelled longer with it, it would have become more disappointing, or it wouldn't have panned out. I don't think it was right for you, whatever that was. There is a different direction to go in. So the disappointment, as I said, I'm seeing it as a people thing, but it might not be. It could be a project. It could be something that you had started on, that again, there was an offer or an invitation you set forth. Then you found out that you hadn't been given all the information. But this is the flavour of this. And now you're having to navigate that disappointment. But you know what? It wouldn't have been right for you. It would have restricted you. It would have stopped your progress. It would have taken up too much time. And you're already working on something that is really important. So walk away from the disappointment. That's what we're being shown here. You have a whole new phase of your life unfolding here with Berkana. You know, your garden is going to be rosy. So this is not something to allow to linger. Okay, that's what we're seeing here. Let's kind of see where this is going. Can we ask for any further advice and guidance, please, from your spirit team for my beautiful pile ones, just to see maybe how this is going to unfold or what else is coming. Be spirit, sweet results await. Wonderful. Seeing these two. Balancing act and metamorphosis. Beautiful cards, yeah. You need to bring things back into balance. This literally knocked you off balance. That's what we're being shown here. Clear as the day. This knocked you off balance. You need to bring yourself back into balance. Even the metamorphosis card, look how balanced these two flamingos are. If this was a love connection, if it was a relationship of some sort, you're going to, the right person is coming. You know, we have the King and the Queen of Staffs. Of Wands, rather, in the traditional words of it, but yeah, Shah of Staffs, Malika of Coins. You've got two kings, two queens showing up. Yeah, if this is not a work, for some of you this could be something, a work situation, but if it was a connection to a friend, a deep friendship, or that didn't work out, sweet results await. Bring yourself back into balance and keep going. Because whatever you're manifesting, it is coming, and it will be balanced. It will be perfect. It will be a perfect pairing, a perfect match, whatever this may be. And we have, how interesting, a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. Now this is fascinating because the moon is literally the eclipse moon is in Libra. But actually, at this point of power, the moon is crossing from Virgo into Libra. Libra, of course, is all about balance. So this is about bringing yourself into balance and really invest in yourself and the world that you are currently working on and working with. This is really asking you to stay on track and stay focused 100%. Let's see if we can get any more information about how this will proceed. What are the sweet results that await? We have, how interesting. So we have, how fascinating. Look at this. We have the Justice card. Again, things coming back into balance. But I feel this is sort of saying justice will be served karmically, because this is a very karmic time. Eclipse moons are very karmic. What we do in the here and now of an eclipse moon is creating, it's like it turbocharges the creation of what we want to manifest. Now you then have the card of the Tower. Okay. We then have, which is very interesting with Hagalaz actually. Okay. Then you have the Knight of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, we may not be shown any more than this with the Two of Swords there. That is a possibility that you're not going to be shown the details of where this is going, but okay, let's look at these. We have, oh, how gorgeous, you have the High Priestess and the Empress. Wow. Okay. Now this is a card of happiness and abundance. You'll be guided. Do you know what? You don't actually have to... I want to say don't worry about getting the end result that you wanted. Whatever the disappointment was, it's coming. It will be bigger and better than you had thought. Hagalaz asks us to break free from things. Also, it kind of indicates something unexpected happening. You don't have to do battle with this, except that something needed to come to an end or come to a close or be put down because it wasn't right. If you accept the changes that come with this, rather than doing battle, it feels a bit like for some of you, maybe you're stepping into the unknown here. Maybe I sort of feel you are being asked to trust actually with the High Priestess. Just trust that the abundance, the happiness that you desire is coming. Rather than trying to fix on it, just move on and start to work with your everyday life in a focused way where you are investing in yourself. This reminds me of, it was I watched a Jim Carrey interview, and when he was trying to manifest his career, and I think he was living in the back of a car at one point or something and working, barely scraping a living as an actor, but he used to go up every day and sit by on the Hollywood sign. And he would sit there and completely absorb himself in the energy of what he wanted as if it was real. So he did the whole, really focused on manifesting process. And he kind of would be really, really focused on it. And then, like you said, then you get up and you do that for 20 minutes and then you go make a sandwich and get on with your normal life. And actually what I'm seeing here is accept the change that has come through, that has been disappointing. Just accept it because it needed to happen. It was going to happen sooner rather than later is actually better, because it needed to be cleared out of the way with the Knight of Swords energy. And then it's kind of like trust that what is being brought to you, the happiness you desire, is being brought to you, that the pathway will be cleared. You don't actually have to know how it's going to happen. With the Two of Swords here, you don't need to see how the universe will orchestrate to make this happen, only that it will. The breakthrough point, in a way, it is initiated by you choosing to walk away and just let this go, not allow it to affect you. Accept that something changed because it needed to, because it was right, and it needed to be cleared out of the way because it would have held you back. And in holding you back, you wouldn't have been able to reach this breakthrough point that we're seeing here to bring into your world the life that you really are desiring. So this is a very, very clear reading, actually, my beautiful souls. So pile one, I want to say, crack on, off you go, make a sandwich, metaphorically. Do what you're doing. Invest in your life. By all means, be focused on the goals and the dreams that you have. But in between, be very focused on just doing what you're doing in the best way possible, in the most amazing way possible. Let this go, whatever it was, because once it has gone, you are free to receive and to be guided to that breakthrough point, or for the universe to orchestrate around you to then start to make things happen for you. And they are going to happen. We have some big cards here with the Tower card showing up. So, this is a super lovely outcome here. But there are things that you need to do, and you need to be on track and focused to make that possible. That's your part to play here. It's doing everything to the best of your ability in a very, everyday kind of way. Not be thrown off track, not losing your focus. This is the key of your reading. Pile 1, this is your reading. I am sending you so much love on this day of the PowerPoint as I upload it, or if you're watching it afterwards, I will be touching base with these PowerPoints. The next one, as I said, is the 29th of October. So, keep a check out for readings posted around that time, because I'll be keeping an eye on that theme. And I am looking to create a PDF every month with key astrological dates. So beautiful souls, watch this space. I'll let you know how you can access that as soon as they are available. And just tons and tons of love to you, beautiful souls. I look forward to seeing you again for some other readings. If you want to make sure you are notified whenever I upload anything, don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell icon. And thank you so much, all of you, for being here. It is such a privilege to be connected with you all. Have an amazing eclipse moon. The dynamics are quite stunning, actually, and not without some undertones, but of more challenging stuff such as this, but the overall dynamics and flow of this moon are quite amazing, actually. So seize the moment. Astrologically, things are not always this harmonious or this loaded with possibility. So seize the moment, beautiful souls. Tons and tons and tons of love, and I will see you really soon. Pile 2, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. Welcome if you're returning. Welcome if you are new. So let's find out what your spirit team are going to let us know about this PowerPoint, this extraordinary eclipse new moon. And we're using the Tarot of the Light. I'm going to draw your tarot cards first. I'm seeing this one and this one and this one. Seeing that one as well, right on the top here. Also that one there, and I'm just going to check the base of the pack as well. Okay, I'm also going to draw from the Akashic Tarot too. It's just such a karmic kind of time, the eclipse moons. They really do open a portal of time, a window. So let's see what the Akashic Tarot have to say as well. Let's look at these first before we draw your oracle cards. We have the Star, Hope. How interesting. So you've got the Moon and the Star. Queen of Hearts, Sixth Sense. Oh, I'm loving this. And you've got the Sun. I am blown away. Pile 2, I am blown away. You have the Moon, the Sun and the Star. I feel like the planets are lining up for you. Okay, something is 10 of Angels. Something is about to happen in your world. Something is about to emerge. I think you have a gut feeling about it. Like, when you just have that kind of, like, you feel like you're on the verge of something, or you're on the brink of something, but you're not quite sure how it's going to open up, or almost, I feel like with you guys, almost explode, come into existence. You have the Queen of Stars, Illuminator, and you have the Page of Angels, Mysticism. What else do we have here? We have Archangel Gabriel. Oh, I cannot believe this. You've got two archangels, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, and the karmic trench in reverse, which is stunning, by the way. I just have to say, this is stunning. We just make sure that camera is completely focused so you can seriously see the cards. I hope that's working. Right, okay, this is mind-blowing. I am really, really blown away by your reading. The power and the energy. I don't know if you can feel like the life coming out of this. It's wow, just wow. Okay, I'll stop wowing and get to your reading. Right. Illusion, hope, vitality, sixth sense, surrender, illuminator, mysticism. I mean, two archangels. Right. I think that something is about to absolutely kind of emerge or blow wide open in your world in the best possible way. And basically some kind of a karmic contract or a karmic pattern has been completed. That's what this is showing us here in reverse. Now, whether this is you not repeating a pattern anymore, and it could be that you've revisited something again and again in previous lives as well as this life. But basically, you have resolved it. It's done. It's over. If you came here with any kind of a contract to somebody or with a contract to yourself, it's finished. You've done it. It's sorted. The world is about to be opened up to you. Now, it may be in the opening up of this to you that you become some kind of a leader. Some of you, I think, will be a leader to others. I think you will be a guiding star, a guiding light for others. Some of you will be healers. Some of you will be communicators. But I feel like you have a part to play in the emergence of where we are now. Actually, basically, we are in a period of monumental accelerated growth. We are moving into the dawning of a new age. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, and that's not a transition where you just close one door and then open the next. It's not like stepping from one room of a house to another. It takes time. It's a process, and during that process, because we're moving from one way of being, seeing, doing to another, moving from one level of consciousness to another, there is one hell of a lot of stuff to sift through karmically. In the conversation I had with my sister Jocelyn, we talked about this, about when planets are in what we call the critical degree, the 29th degree, well, in fact, from the 27th to the 29th, when they move from one sign to another, and they're in the 27th to 29th degree, before they then shift into the new sign. And it's like a critical point where almost like you could say that Jocelyn described it as the worst surfacing, the worst of this surfacing, the worst of that sign or that planet surfacing, because it needs to get fixed once and for all, so we're free to move on to the next. And your reading has like a flavour of that about it. It's like you've reached this point where you've done something, you've finished it, you've concluded something karmically, and way to go, massive respect. Which means that in the coming year, which is going to be of 2025 and 26, we are going to see a lot of stuff happening. We're already seeing turbulence. We're already seeing big stuff happening. You have a part to play in this. And this is what your spirit team are saying. Surrender to this, because it's like you're calling for the next chapter of your world. You're going to be guided. You're going to be supported. I think some of you are healers. I think some of you are speakers. Some of you may be readers. You may be writing a book. You are helping people see through the illusion of the lower vibrational consciousness that the collective humanity has been living through, and you are rising. You will bring hope to many. You could be, as I said, you could be readers, you could be scientists, really showing how science and spirituality are the same. Whatever you are bringing forth, you have a role to play, and it's quite a key role with the sun here. You've finished one karmic chapter in your world. It's concluded, and in fact, actually, this is part of the karmic growth and evolution for you, whatever you came here to do, you probably had one hell of a lot of life experiences to get through to almost mean that you are now in this place of heightened enlightenment, actually. Therefore, you have a gift that you can bring forth. This is it's like your calling, and you've kind of, you've completed stuff. Some of you may have come here and been processing sort of like genetic trauma. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that you could, because this is a general reading, it's going to reach many people. So, but beautiful souls, you've completed something and now you are free to move on. And this is stepping up into a place where you have a key role of some sort to play. You could be becoming a conscious parent. You could be, however it is. Way to go. Surrender to your calling. I think you're already doing this. I think you already know. What I'm also hearing at these points of power each month, as the moon moves across, she moves from Virgo into Libra. This is this sort of point of power. Every month the moon will move. The next one is the 29th of October. It's the 1st of October today, and that's happening now. This is the energy where you can get a turbocharged lift of connectedness to support you in moving something forward that you are bringing forth, whatever this is. So if you ever have a wobble, or you're having a little bit of you're having to face some challenges to bring this forward, or you're not quite sure what the next step is, these PowerPoints will be really valuable for you. They will help to lift you and to lift what you are doing every time. Let's draw your oracle cards, see what we're shown. My lovely pal too. I'm blown away by your reading. Absolutely blown away. Let's get some more information. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Wow. Yeah, you are going to be rising as you will have a leading role to play in whatever it is that you're doing. Wow. We have home. And we have metamorphosis. How interesting that this card came out in pile 1 as well. How fascinating. If you were drawn to pile 1, it may be that there is some relevance in that reading for you. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I want to say aim and fire. Just go for it. Don't hold back. Just surrender to what you know this is your calling. Okay, what have we got here? So take the lead. We're seeing you rise up. What is home about? I'm seeing the clock face, divine timing. Yeah, I think doorways will be opened for you to transform. If you need any healing or any support in a physical way, like the right people will come at the right time, Archangel Raphael often indicates real people. His energy arrives in real people. If you are needing to find the right words to say, or you're writing something, communicating something, you're opening your channels. If you were becoming a reader, for example, Archangel Gabriel will support you. Doors are going to be opened for you. The timing is right. But let's get some additional clarification on this. But this is you rising into your position of leadership. What else do we have? Okay, so we have the 7 of Pentacles and we have the King of Pentacles. I think for some of you, this will be something that you have sort of like not exactly played with the idea of. You may already have started something or invested in something already. This is telling you it's going to take off, okay? Moving from the 7 where you've started to sow seeds, you've started to grow stuff. This is going to rise. It's going to take off. Something is going to take off big time. Use these PowerPoints, beautiful souls, to really meditate, to open yourself to receive guidance, to help to find the clarity. 2 sevens. You've got the 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. Yeah, if you're not sure which way to go at any time, use these PowerPoints and also work with the moon, the cycles of the moon anyway, to illuminate, to show you the way. Yeah, I think things are going to be opened up for you, and you'll be shown what you can do. I also think some of you may be investing in more than one thing with the Seven of Cups, actually. It may be there's more than one area of your world that is going to escalate, more than one area of your life. So it could be your working life where you take the lead, your home life may be being responded to, your personal life, your own personal soul growth and evolution. I think this is more than one area of your world taking off, actually. Look at that. We have the Six of Wands. This is the card of victory. We have the Knight of Wands as well. And then we have the Tower. Oh, wow. Honestly, I don't think your world is... I think your world is going to change. Karmically, there's no more repeating patterns anymore. It's like there's no room for it. And besides, you've been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. But truly, honestly, I think that your world is... This is life-changing. So I think it is all areas of your world are going to be changing, escalating, rising. I mean, because that's how it can be. And fast. I think you're going to see a very sudden escalation, a sudden birth of burst of growth, of evolution, of just being, of rocketing to higher levels of consciousness, or rocketing to higher levels of confidence, or rocketing to stuff you're doing just takes off. What you need comes to you at the right time. You find that you can just speak. It's, you know, Spirit speaks through you. And fast. I don't think this calling, this purpose, is new to you. I think you probably already know what it is. You may not quite know exactly how to move it forwards, and you may even have felt quite stuck previously. But this is going to rocket, and it's going to move forwards, and it's going to move forwards fast. Let's just draw some runes for you. Okay, so we have Manas, the rune of the self, and we have Suelo. This is the rune of wholeness. This is your calling. So it's very personal to you. But my goodness me, you're about to get a growth spurt. This is Bacana, the rune of growth. We have the rune of joy, Winjo, and we have Isa. Isa is the rune of standstill or ice. I think this is something you've already invested in. It's something you've already wanted to do. You've already started. But for some reason, it's never quite taken off. If any of you have written a book and shelved it, now's the time to get it back out again. Or if you wrote something and put it out there but it didn't do much, this would be the time when somebody suddenly finds it, or you're discovered and it goes viral. If you're a songwriter and you write these incredibly amazing songs that are so inspirational, now is the time for them to rocket. What underpins that is within you, you've completed some form of karmic contract, or you've processed something to the point where it's no longer affecting you. You're not doing it anymore. You're not following a pattern. And right at the centre of this evolutionary growth spurt is the fact that you've done that work. And because you've done that work, you are free to rocket, to soar, to rise. I don't think your world will ever be the same again. In the best possible way. This is life-changing. You know, the old will crumble and you rebuild the new. And this change is coming, and it's coming fast. Wow. Try to keep your feet on the ground with Isa. Stand still. Make sure you literally stand still sometimes. Take your shoes off and put your feet on, touch the soil. Keep grounded, because actually when something really rockets, it's quite hard to keep grounded. But Wunjo, this is the rune of joy. It literally is like a new dawn, and this is a whole new era of life for you. Wow. Let's draw just a couple more cards to see whether there's any further information, or even perhaps a sneaky peek as to how this is going to unfold in the future. Maybe we could get a sneaky peek. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups, sorry, the Four of Pentacles rather, and the Two of Cups. We then have the Magician. Oh my goodness me, look at this. And the Fool. Wowzer. Right, anything that has been stuck in your life, any areas of stuckness, are going to shift. Anything that you previously struggled to let go of, if you were holding on to something, a pattern or of thinking or an attitude or even people or circumstances, this is the move forwards. This is the change. This is the right people coming at the right time. This is life changing. In every possible area of your world is taking off. This is the timing is perfect for you with the Two of Cups. This is sort of living through love as well, because you're living through a higher state of consciousness. You're living through love, and it means that your capacity to manifest, to rise, is phenomenal. And you literally can launch into the new. The new is coming. You've got the Fool and the Tower. I mean, yeah, I don't think your life will ever be the same again, because actually when you rise to higher levels of consciousness and your whole world shifts. My apologies, beautiful souls. I just got interrupted there. But that's kind of quite interesting. I always think everything that happens in a reading is relevant. And I kind of, in a way, I do feel it will feel like your life is not exactly interrupted, but I do think it will radically change. It is like being somebody who has been, I don't know, a struggling actor or a struggling musician, or trying to get your stuff out into the world and not being seen, and suddenly you're seen and you go viral and everybody wants to kind of employ you, and you get them, you know, if you're an actor, you get the movie deal of a lifetime, or you know, or a record deal of a lifetime. It's that kind of level of change. But the change is here because you have ended some sort of a karmic pattern, so your energy is right, and you are now stepping up in a position of leadership and of bringing hope to many, and through whatever it is that you are doing. Pile 2, I'm absolutely blown away by your reading. What is absolutely super gorgeous as well is that not only do you change other people's lives, but your world is completely transformed as well in every possible way. And I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Pile 2, it is a huge honour to be connected with you all. Please remember us when you make your fame and fortune, and it is truly a blessing. And thank you, all of you, for being here. It really is, you know, tongue in cheek. It's a real honour to read for you. What you are doing is truly going to be of benefit to many, but equally fantastically, your world is going to transform at the same time. Tons of love, Pal 2. Do touch base with the channel every now and then if you want to make use of these PowerPoints, because if you're in ever kind of having, I don't know, wobble or whatever, you can, I will be touching base with readings on these PowerPoints so that we can, you know, it just helps to realign and reignite, you know, the energy of whatever it is that you are doing and that you are rising into. So the next one will be the 29th, and obviously they'll be posting a ton of readings in between. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the things you do that support the channel, and if you want to make sure you never miss a reading, then subscribe and press the little bell icon as well. Tons of love, Pal 2. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So amazing time at this moment. We are sitting on a PowerPoint at the time of doing this reading, helping you to launch something or keep something going. And we're asking your spirit team for guidance and advice about this area. How can you use this PowerPoint? What's happening in your world? And seeing these cards here, interestingly enough, these as well. We take this one and this one. Okay, what are we being shown for my lovely pile 3? What messages are coming through? You have 3 of Swords, okay. You have the High Priestess. How interesting, you've got a Bat of Transformation here. We have the Seven of Swords with the Jaguar energy. We have the Three of Wands. You're going to come through and out the other side of something, my lovelies. Something that has taken you into the shadows, that has been really quite difficult. You are going to transform. Yeah, you're going to come through it and out the other side. We have the card of the Devil and we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, you're going to come through something and out the other side, my lovelies. Something that has been really quite heartbreaking or difficult. Something is coming to an end here. Or you're at a turning point. This is actually saying don't give up. You're at a turning point where you can recover effectively. Don't give up. How interesting. I'm seeing these two, but also these two as well. Okay, I'm going to move these over. Move them over to here. Let's see what our cards are from the Akashic Tarot. You have the Seven of Forces. We've got the Scales here. We then have the Willow in reverse. We have Clearing the Path or Clearing the Way in reverse. We have the Summer-Winter card in the Winter position. And then we have the Eight of Roses, Sangha Community. Okay, this is lovely. This is really, really lovely. Let's just place that here. Pile 3, everything in your reading is asking you to keep going. You are actually at a turning point, or you are soon going to reach a turning point. There's something you've been through that was really, really challenging, and you've had to become incredibly... I'm just going to put this card out of our way for a moment, okay? I'm just going to look at what we have here. I think you've had to adapt. There's been some really big, significant changes that took place in your world, and probably quite a test of faith at different times, I think, for some of you. You know, when you really think, you know, how can this be happening, or how could this be real? Really, it's taken you into the depths of your own kind of psychology. You are actually at a turning point here, which is really powerful, because things are now going to start to come back into balance again. Whereas I think you have experienced what I would say quite a long winter within yourself or within your circumstances. It's felt like things are constantly blocked. I think there's been a lot of emotionality around you, but it's time for you to kind of like emerge again, and also to rewrite your story. It's like writing the next chapter of your story, doing it differently, finding the right people, the right place to be, the right tribe, the right friends, the right connections, the family you choose. You know, this is all about making those connections. Let's draw some tarot cards and also some runes. Let's do the runes first. Let me get a bit of clarification here. So the runes are... Okay, so the one rune that is showing itself in the upright position is movement. This is Awaz. This is the bettering of any situation. So something is about to move forwards. It's about to shift. Literally, there's going to be a turning point. So we have... Also, then we have nourishment, Fehu. This is unexpected rewards, surprises, gains. It's ambition satisfied. So something's going to shift from being quite stuck, I think, or feeling as though it's been hard to move through and beyond it, or you've had to just face... I think you've basically had to face monumental change. But these changes were not... I think they weren't necessarily initiated by you, and because of that it feels very much as though the world did stuff to you, as it were. Now, you know, you may also recognise that there was a part, you had a part to play, but for some of you, I mean, that's a message for some but not all, but I do feel for some of you it felt as though the world threw you a curveball, basically. That's the deal here. Kind of threw you a curveball, you didn't see it coming, and you've had to be really, really, it's like trying to think on your feet, having to adapt, having to change, having to pick up and keep going, and all of these things. Your reading is all about keeping on going, but it's keeping going because there's going to be a shift and a turning point forwards. It's time for you to emerge. Things are going to come back into balance. If you've been going through any kind of legal battles here, then I think you'll get a balanced outcome. Stuff that has been holding you back or blocking you, I think will shift. We've got breakthrough, so we've got the breakthrough rune. We have fertility as well. Interestingly enough, fertility often requires us to sort of, I don't know, kind of almost like cross the T's, dot the I's. So pay attention to some details. So if there are legal things, I think you've had to be quite sharp and on the ball and on the case, but it's going to reach a breakthrough point. There's going to be a turnaround. Let me just focus the camera, make sure that's proper focusing for you on those cards. Let's get some clarification for you here. Okay. Let's ask about, we've got the Willow and Clearing the Way and the Winter card here. Let's ask about these cards. Let's ask about the blocks. Could we get clarification around this? What are we being shown here? Let me just find out a little bit more for you. So we have, first of all, okay, this is really, really interesting. We've got, where are we? This is 21. We've got the card of the World. So something will come to a completion. We then have the Magician. We have the King of Wands. And we have the card of the Moon. Okay. Or is this actually the Moon? 18. Yes, that is right. That is the card of the Moon. Yeah. The Moon showing up again, of course. How interesting. Okay. And lastly, we have the 4. Okay. Right, my lovely pile 3. I do genuinely think that you have, you've been through the mill over something. Something was really, really, really tough for you with the 3 of Swords. But you know what? It really is time to move through and beyond this. Now, it doesn't just mean that you're going to surge ahead with all the energy in the world and that you're just going to be completely fine. It reminds me of a bereavement, for example, and if any of you have had a bereavement, I am so sorry for your loss. It could, for some of you, even be a bereavement of an animal brother or sister, you know, rather than just I say just a person. It could have been a person, but there is definitely a flavour of bereavement, of potential loss. There's also an energy of possible addictions around you, or, you know, there's been a stuckness around you where something hasn't moved because of circumstances that happened to you. You could have been let down. You could have been brokenhearted about something. As I said, why wouldn't you be brokenhearted if you've lost somebody or an animal brother or sister that you loved? But it has this flavour of processing going on here. And your reading is saying, keep going. Your spirit team are saying, look, you are reaching a turning point here. It's time to begin to re-emerge, almost like to be reborn again. Still you, still very much you, but to begin to allow something to reach its natural end. It's that there's a definite stages of grieving and of bereavement when we kind of have to give ourselves permission to sort of pick up and start again. It's the same if you have lost somebody, if you came out of a difficult relationship and you felt brokenhearted. There comes a time when it's kind of like, are we going to kind of try this again? Are we going to get back up and have another go? If some sort of legal thing is going on around you, I think it will reach a turning point where you may have been wondering whether it ever would end. I think it will come to an end. There's a turning point. Now, there are still some stages to go through, so make sure you look after yourself. With this card in the Winter position, I sort of feel like you might still need to hibernate a bit from time to time. You know, when you're processing something, because this is what we're seeing, you're processing something that's been big. If you were, as I said, struggling, any of you struggling with an addiction, it's a process to go through, and we can lapse sometimes, but you are at a turning point. You're at a turning point when everything is shifting forwards, and that kind of figures with the kind of energy that we're going through at the moment. Astrologically, we are getting what we need to move forwards, to leave the past behind. But I do think you've had a really tough and very emotional time over something. It has felt as though, I think sometimes as if you'd never get through this, actually. You know, when you just have those sort of days. But this is the turning point. The turning point is coming. So this is part of what your spirit team is saying. It's like the turning point is coming. The breakthrough moment is coming. So, you know, just keep on going. Let's see what else we are shown here. There is a need to be, adaptable. I think you've had to be fair. Cow spirit, the miracles are endless. Love it. Okay. Yeah, this is very, very interesting because Fehu is unexpected rewards, gains, surprises. It's like ambition satisfied. So actually, if there's something you've been persevering with and you've honestly really begun to get quite down in the dumps about it, or feel like it's never going to happen, or that contract would never get signed, or you'd never find the right place to move to, or you'd never, however this, you never pick up after that loss. This is suggesting that almost like miracles are in the air with the High Priestess. I am now very intrigued by your reading. May we please get more guidance and information. So we've got dry desert. May we please have additional guidance and information. We have dry desert and you have moonlight. Wow. So we've got the moon coming back in again. Okay. Okay. The miracles are endless. I think you have come through. What your reading is saying is, look, this sort of period of almost like as if you've been traversing a desert and then you see an oasis in the distance, but this time it's a real one. It's like you're coming to the end of a dry patch or a difficult patch. If any of you have been struggling financially, I think you're coming to the end of a dry patch. If you've literally been moonlighting, doing more than one job, something is going to transform or open for you. We've got an hourglass here. The timing is now right. This is a turning point, and that's what you're being shown here. So your reading is saying, keep going. In some area of your life that will be personal to you, keep going. A time to give rather than take. This came out in pile 1. So if you were drawn to pile 1, beautiful souls, it may well be worth checking that reading out. Now this is very interesting, new moon in Virgo. The new moon eclipse is actually in Libra, but the power point is the point when the moon is moving from Virgo into Libra. It's this shift, moving into a space of where your hard work pays off, and we move into a place of balance. This is the power point that the moon sits on, in which I spoke about in the conversation with my sister Jocelyn. By the way, I should also say those conversations are still available on both Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. And Jocelyn has made her own video as well. But this is a point. This is a turning point for you. That's what we're seeing. So let's get more information. What else can you do? Is there any information about what my pile 3s can either do at this point in time, or guidance and advice to help to move this forwards, or help to persevere? Okay, we have the 4 of Cups. I'm hearing don't be despondent. Okay, try not to be despondent here. We have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Now, the 8 of Wands is a very fast-moving energy. Yeah, try not to be despondent, because otherwise you could miss something that's being offered to you. Your despondency, or your feeling like this is never going to be over, could actually mean that you're closed to an opportunity that's being offered to you. This is interesting. What is this opportunity? Well, let's see. Can we get any more information about this? Ooh, lots of cards wanting to come through for you. Let's look at these first off. Okay. We have got the Knight of Pentacles, and we also have the 6 of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity. And yet again, we have the Scales of Balance. I think somebody may reach out to you in some way, shape or form, my lovely pile 3. Yeah, I think somebody is potentially going to reach out to you. Now, you've been brokenhearted, or something has been really tough for you. Felt like someone threw you a curveball. This is the breakthrough moment. You're being asked to not dismiss this. It may come in an unexpected shape with Fehu. It might not come as you expect it to be. It might not come in the shape or form that you expect. Very interesting, because particularly with this card as well, the moon, we have a coyote. Coyotes have had to be really adaptable because their environment has changed, because actually we as a species have encroached on their environment. So a bit like in the UK here, we have urban foxes. You know, we actually have almost like 2 distinct breeds now, actually. We have the country foxes and the urban foxes, and they're quite different. And they have adapted and transformed over a very short space of time, actually, relatively. They've adapted to their circumstances. I'm wondering whether someone's coming forward, that there's an offer of something here, and there's a concern on your spirit team that you might not see it, or see that it's a miracle, or see its potential. Perhaps because of what has happened historically, you might be feeling a little bit closed off. If you've been really quite withdrawn, or, you know, started to get a little bit tangled in, you know, if you're having a bad day, you know, kind of hitting the bottle, or you know, eating too much chocolate, whatever that might be, whatever your bag is, there's something about letting go here of anything that inhibits you from seeing the potential in the situations that are showing up around you. You may have been feeling quite stuck or quite trapped. Now, this is the bettering of any situation. You're being offered something. Something is coming to you. Now, it may be in front of you already. Excuse me, a little burp there. It may be in front of you already, especially with the world, or it's about to be shown to you. So this could be something that literally is around you. And you're being asked to be aware of it. Heighten your awareness. Open yourself to see what's being offered. There's definitely an opportunity around you. And there's concern that you won't see it for what it is, but it's got massive potential. Massive potential. Okay, I mean, this could bring you back into balance. It could bring something in your life back into balance. So there's assistance here. Guidance, assistance coming in the shape of something. Let's get a bit more information. Let's find out what we can find out for you. May we please ask, what is this about? How is this offer of something coming? May we ask for further information about it? Okay, so 7 of Pentacles. We've got the spider here. We have the Magician. Okay. Showing up again. Okay, we've got a raccoon here, and we have Sangha community. Right, we've got the web here, of course. Okay. I suspect the offer is I think it's something relatively local to you, actually, with the community card, the Sangha community card. I think it's relatively close by, or I don't feel like you've got to go out and look for it. Raccoons work as a team. They're very much a family. They work together. 7 of Pentacles. We've got the web. I mean, you could hear something through the grapevine, literally through the, you know, through the web of communications. It could be through the internet, but it would be most likely to be, if it comes through the internet, if this offer or opening comes through the internet of some sort, it will come because it'll probably come through someone that you know, or a community that you're already a part of. So if it's an online community, even if it's not local and it's international, the opportunity will come through something that you already belong to. For some of you, literally, it's very local. It's on your doorstep. But there is definitely an opportunity that has potential that's being offered to you here. And I think it will come through something or a group of people that you are already connected to. May we get further information about what this actually is. May we have more information about what this offer actually is, please, for my lovely pile threes. Any indication about what this offer is? Ten of Swords. Okay. Okay, so we have the cuckoo sitting in the nest. Going to get some more cards around this. It brings something to a close, that's for sure. Definitely brings something to a close. You have the Nine of Wands. I think it might bring a dilemma to an end. What is this about? I'm ever so intrigued by your reading, or what this offer is. We then have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, we're back to having an offer fair and square on the table for you. Okay. Let me bring these down here so we can get them all in. I've got piles of cards here for you, but I've just got to follow this through for you, beautiful souls, and see what this is about. I think with the Nine of Wands, you're being asked not to be prickly. And with the Ten of Swords, I keep hearing imposter syndrome, coming through here. I wonder if it's going to be hard for you to trust. Let's just check in. Let's get information about this card here. We have the Seven of Cups. And we have the Seven of Wands. What is this? Do you know, I am absolutely, very rare that I get to a point in a reading and I'm thinking, what is this about? How is this offer arriving? Is it because it gets your prickles up or something like that? Or maybe it's somebody who did get your prickles up. Or maybe you defend against it and you need to see through that illusion. Because they don't want you to miss this opportunity. Yes, that's what's coming through here. You could approach it quite defensively, almost like be uncertain. Yeah, here we go. There's the confirmation. We have the Ten of Pentacles. It's almost as if because you've been through something really quite challenging, it's almost as if it's really hard for you to trust that this is worth taking, that this is a good offer. But I think something is coming through that is genuine here. Now, it's challenging for you to accept it because actually you've been hurt, or you've been through the mill, or you've been retreating, or you've been processing something. But this is an offer that I think is worth taking, actually, rather than pushing it away, defending against it. May we ask for further guidance and information about this, please? Yeah, this is something that you can absolutely pick up and run with. You can work at it. Even if you do feel a bit wibbly-wobbly at the start, this is something that you can work with. There's something here that's quite tangible that you can work with, something real. Now, if it's a connection to a person, you can work through a problem if you're concerned or you're anxious. Because let's say you've had a challenging relationship and you were broken-hearted and you don't feel you can trust anybody, and somebody comes forward and you're thinking, well, how do I trust you? I don't trust anyone. Well, you can work through this. This person is genuine. If somebody's come back into your life and they are apologising for something that they did, they get in touch, and miracles are possible here. Miracles are endless. We've got really positive cards. It's really funny. I'm picking up on this sort of energy and thinking, what's that about? But I think it's because you've been through something difficult. It's left you feeling really prickly. really a little bit prickly, feeling like a little bit defended, and feeling like you're not really sure whether you want to take an opportunity because it might, in case it goes wrong, or it's got that kind of flavour. But actually, your reading is saying that you can adapt, you can grow, you can change. We're always growing, we're always changing. And this is something that brings a chapter of your world to an end and creates a new chapter and a new story for you. Let's get a few more cards just to see what else we are shown here. Maybe we have any further guidance as to how this might emerge or evolve. Details, details, how interesting. Look at the details here. You can ask here. If you're moving something forwards, let's say you, I don't know, accepted, somebody offers you a job and you're really, really anxious about taking that job because you've, had some difficult experiences before, or, someone threw you a curveball and maybe you were made redundant and someone offers you a job, but you're really, really anxious, or someone offers you a job, do you let go of the security that you've got, or do you adapt and step up? Just look at the details of everything. I think you'll find if you start to look at the details, if you start to listen to also, you can ask for clarity. You can have those conversations. If someone comes back into your life or someone comes forward, you can talk about where you've come from. If you've been hurt before, for example, you can talk about it. Clarify where you're coming from. Check things. This is all about checking stuff out. Absolutely. And being very balanced in your perspective. Okay, one ring circus. Ooh, gentle gardener. Yeah, you need to be really gentle with yourselves. I think this is a significant turning point. This is what the eclipse energy is bringing you. It's a significant turning point that moves you back into a place of potential thrivingness. So it's a really good opportunity. I think somebody will make you an offer or come forward, or there'll be a communication or an invitation. And I do actually think from living in a place where you've probably been withdrawn, which is what we do, let's say if we have a bereavement, for example, we withdraw. We need to. But this is the turning point, and there's something coming into you that is an invitation to invite you out of that place of sort of prickliness or retirement or reclusiveness. And actually, this is really, really just saying that your world needs to be brought back into balance here. You don't have to go it alone, okay? You don't always have to be a one-man band. You don't always have to go it alone. Take it steady, take it gently, ask lots of questions, listen to all the answers. This would literally be like if you're starting a relationship after you've either lost someone or you've, had a difficult breakup. Listen to the person. If someone comes back and makes an apology, listen to what they've got to say and ask lots of questions and take it steady. Slow and steady wins the race. But this is about that turning point of getting back out there, of embracing what is being offered to you, because miracles are abound here. So something that is really important to you that you want to manifest, we've had the magician showing up more than once here, something you want to manifest is coming through for you. You've kind of got to be able to allow yourself to take the risk of sort of trying it out, testing the waters, also believing in that you can be adaptable enough to actually, to do this. It's believing in yourself as well. Can we have any further guidance or any final guidance here for my lovely pile 3? Look at this. We have the 5 of Wands. We then have the card of Judgment. We have the Empress. Lovely. And then we have the 9 of Wands. What this card is saying, beautiful souls, is that whatever is offered to you, do you know the most important part of this is to get out there and look at it, to allow yourself this possibility. Don't do battle over it. Don't make it into, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. I think you're seeing it as being a bigger challenge than it is actually here. Pile 3, what's been really interesting for me is, because this is turning into quite a long reading, and then that's not a problem at all. Thank you for still being with me. It's felt really important to see it through. And I think that's an essence of what's being said here. That I think there's massive anxiety about seeing something through or having a go, or whether it's almost like, again, if you were brokenhearted, if somebody you had a really difficult experience and it really knocked your trust, totally floored your trust. And then you have an opportunity, someone reaches out. Well, how do you begin to trust again? It's a big area, and I think it's where you could almost do battle over this within yourself. A part of you will want this, but another part of you won't trust it. And I think the length of the reading is important, because I think it's telling us to take your time. You don't have to do this all in one go. Be open, be honest, talk about your concerns and your fears. Listen to what is said. Take this gently. This isn't all or nothing. This isn't like one of those scenarios where if you're feeling insecure, then you want an immediate commitment, because otherwise how can you trust it? Well, that would just put so much pressure on it, it would never work. So this is really very much about letting yourself sort of organically enter into a new phase of your world in whatever way, shape or form it was impacted on by something that didn't work out, or by the loss of someone, or by some huge change. Something threw you a curveball. Now, however that has panned out, it's time to grow. There's a turning point, but take it gently and slowly. Be ultra kind to yourselves. And let's just see if we can have an indication as to how this is panning out, a sneaky peek in the future. We have the Hierophant, which is really interesting, because this is a commitment, a card sometimes of a commitment. We have the Ace of Wands, so this is a commitment to a new beginning. Life force, energy, passion. Two cards showing up for us. We have the Hanged Man, okay, and then we have the card of Justice as well, okay. So we've got Judgment and Justice showing up here. Okay, this is very, very interesting. So actually, just take your time. It doesn't matter, even if, let's say you have been brokenhearted and this is a new relationship. Just take it really slowly. Allow yourself to let it unfold steadily. See it as it is. And make a commitment to your own growth, to your own passion, to your own journey, to you being you. You don't have to be anyone or anything else. This is actually a commitment to yourself over and above anything. It's a commitment to yourself and your entitlement to move through and beyond something, my beautiful souls. It's not really about anyone else. It's about your commitment to yourself. And whatever shows up in the form of an offer or an invitation, however that is, its purpose is about you making a commitment to you rather than you making a commitment to anybody else. Allow this to unfold slowly, steadily, gently. Listen. And let it just grow organically. Allow yourself to emerge organically. And then, actually, things are going to kind of, I think, just emerge and evolve at a really steady rate. And that's what's needed. It's not like going gung-ho at something. It's going back to the way that foxes have adapted and coyotes have adapted. They've had to adapt. At the same time, even though from an evolutionary perspective, the urban foxes here in the UK have almost adapted into a new species, it didn't happen overnight. It's taken time. I mean, foxes moved into cities, gosh, probably 40, 50 years ago. and from an evolutionary perspective, to almost look at two different breeds of fox within 50 years is a very short space of time. But actually, for us on the ground, 50 years is not a short space of time. We watch something evolve organically over time, and that is what's being shown here. My lovely pile threes. Gosh, this has been a fascinating reading, and I think the energy of even doing it feels as though there's this need to allow it to unfold. I almost feel like I could put myself under pressure. Like there is a pressure here for you to feel that you have to move forwards too fast. Well, you don't. Just take your time. Let this unfold. Don't waste an opportunity because miracles abound, but also don't apply any pressure to yourself either. It's like getting that balance right. Pile 3, this is your reading. Very fascinating. Very fascinating. So, there is a new beginning around you. An offer of something to help, that's for sure, and it is worth investing in. It's like the way you go about it that is so important, that will make sure that growth can occur at a really beautiful pace rather than, under pressure. Very, very interesting reading. Pile 3, this is your reading. I am sending you so much love. I will be touching base on that next PowerPoint. The next one is the 29th of October. So keep a lookout for that. I am creating PDF. I haven't worked out quite how to get it to people yet. I'll keep you posted on that. I'm going to be creating a monthly PDF with key astrological dates in it, that kind of thing, just so that you can really touch base with what's happening. So watch this space for that. I'll keep you posted on all these things. Tons of love. Thank you for being here. So much love.